Here you have Adelante from 1964 and Four Big Dots from 1963, done just 1 year apart from one another. But yet, these are two artists who at these very precise moments are at the very height of their powers. Every time I look at this Stella or you stand in front of it, it feels like speed, you feel the velocity. And Stella brings that to a new level with pictures like Adelante from the early 60s.
And your eye moves along it. You know, you're kind of jilting and stuttering along that line, sort of down through that chevron shape and along. It feels almost like an electronic circuit or a road. You have this sense of motion across, down and up across the canvas.
This incredible shimmering silver paint that Frank Stella uses, in a way, is what allows the painting to interact with its environment. The way that the light reflects off of the silver, it is in this incredible way enhancing that perspective.
And Calder is much the same. You know, Calder's sculptures are abstract paintings brought into motion. The elements of Four Big Dots from 1963 vary from the circular form to these rhomboid ones. It has this extraordinary wingspan that is very sort of unique and is something that Calder only comes to at this point when he's producing mobiles in France, amongst other places. Calder sculpting out of metal, using rods, using sheets, creating these various forms in space, and Stella painting with something entirely new, suspending metal pigment in emulsion over the surface of the canvas and contrasting it with those patches of raw canvas that run across and create those vectors and those velocities.
They're so dependent upon their environment. I mean, I think every Calder is completed by the conditions of its viewing, by the air in the room, by the environment, by the viewers walking around it. I mean, it reacts to the space. And in a very similar but perhaps more subtle way, Stella's running V paintings interact with the space in the same way. And part of their impact is the engagement with the viewer in that way that's very much akin to Calder.
Seeing these works in dialogue, you see them playing from the same score.
And how interesting is it to think that here you have Adelante from 1964 and Four Big Dots from 1963, done just 1 year apart from one another, but yet these are two artists who at these very precise moments are at the very height of their powers. This is a work that has a breadth that is awe-inspiring in the way that the Calder occupies space. And then you look at the Stella painting, done in 1964, and here's an artist who has had a prodigious rise at the very beginning of his career, you know, coming out of the black paintings at the end of the 50s, which were this incredibly revolutionary and radical response to abstract expressionism.